Hello, I'm Richard. This video is probably a very important one for just about everybody. The inspiration of this came when I was doing my morning meditation down by the Swan River. And this video is about how to hack your stuck life. Now, what do I mean by a stuck life? This is for everybody whose lives are not moving. They are going round in circles. At the end of each year, they celebrate Christmas and herald the New Year in, and it's been relatively the same. It's just as though their lives are tethered round a central point and they're just able to go around in a little fishbowl. So what happens is their freedom is limited within boundaries. They're not able to do the things they desire. They're not able to be the people they feel they can be inside, and they're financially constrained. This is also for people who have health challenges, and these health challenges limit their mobility, their ability to do things that they love, to have fun, etc. And so, if you don't have total freedom in your life, then there's somewhere in your life that you're stuck. You're in one place and you have the inability to move out of there to someplace much better, much bigger, more expansive. There's no judgment involved with this because this is the lot of the vast majority of people on this planet. It's the way life has been set up, which does not serve you. So, let's look at a few situations where people are stuck. Typically, many people are finding it hard going just to make ends meet. They have to have dual incomes or they're doing more than one job just to keep things going in the family, to put food on the table, to pay for the roof over your head, be it your mortgage or your rent, and all the expenses of everyday living, which is only going up, and your purchasing power going down. So each year, the struggle increases incrementally, whereby it's getting more and more difficult to make ends meet, to put things away, etc. Today, retirement is a whole different scenario for people who are in their elderly ages. So when you're in your 60s, to be able to retire, most people don't have the funds required to be able to sustain the lifestyle that they wish to enjoy. So what do you do when you're stuck? When you are running so hard, you don't have time to think, to do anything. You're pedaling hard just to keep above water, and you've got challenges with family, challenges with work, challenges with business, challenges with all sorts of things in life. What do you do? So here's how to hack your stuck life. The first thing is to create a gap. Now, a gap is a space. And my acronym, my cosmic perspective on gap, is God Actualizing Perspective. So it's actually insight, perspective, information from above, from outside your head. That's a gap. And what the gap requires is for you to still the mind, because your stuck life is a result of your entire life being run in the illusion of everything going on in your mind. So create this gap is the first thing. And there's many ways of doing that. And this gap is profound. Because when you know and do this in your life, and you get to what I call the love matter, which is what really matters in the love of your life, then you will understand, appreciate, and experience what a gap really is. So the first thing is to create a gap. And that is about, first of all, making a time in your schedule, no matter how small, to just stop. That's just the first thing. You'll say, I don't have time for that. I can't afford it. Well, the moment you say I don't, I can't, I must, I cannot, then those words lead to a belief system in your consciousness that lock you into a particular paradigm. So for you to create a gap, you have to be willing to shift out of your locked paradigm and belief systems. So the second part is to change your breathing. This is the one thing that'll make the biggest difference. This one small thing will make the biggest change in your life. And when you change your breathing, it is simply slowing down your breathing. One of the things I teach in meditation is a 7-5-7-5 breathing protocol, which is 7 seconds in breath, 5 seconds hold. Now this is where the gap is in the hold, your breath. 5 seconds out breath, 5 seconds hold. So the hold at the top of your in breath, the hold at the bottom of your out breath, they're the gaps. So with breathing, what do? Very simple, is to just be mindful of changing the way you breathe. If you don't do anything else except that, that's already the start of hacking your stuck life. And what do? You just practice breathing from your diaphragm and slowing your in-breath. Do a hold, slow out breath. And if you just do those 3 actions and practice that on a daily basis, to slow down your in-breath, do a hold for whatever's comfortable for you, and slow out breath. If you just become mindful of practicing that on a regular basis, it'll transform your life over a period in time. This is a small hack that makes a big impact. Now, how do you do that? Well, the first thing with breathing is to just set aside some time to practice deep breathing. 10 minutes a day, or even 15 to 20 minutes a week. It doesn't matter. You just have to make a start and to set a small amount of time. Then is to make this a ritual. So a ritual is different from a habit. You make a habit of a ritual. A ritual is a practice that is dedicated for you to connect with yourself, the planet, and source. So you see tribes doing rituals, ceremonies. So there's a sacredness about these things. So ritual is a habit that is important. So you set a ritual to do that. Now, what does this look like? For example, a ritual could be a daily meditation in the morning. Could be 5 minutes, could be 15 minutes, could be half an hour. Within that time, you can practice your breathing. You can go into inner space. You can prepare yourself for the day. The issue is that we do not have a ritual of doing this. We get up in the morning and it's all rush to start our day, to get to work, or do whatever we need to do. With this ritual, you could even do something that is possible for everybody in every situation. Let me explain. In every hour, you have 60 minutes, 60. It is possible for you to set aside 1 minute out of 60, no matter how busy you are. And in those within those 60 minutes, when you take one out and you just use 60 seconds of that, you can do 2 very slow breaths and have a gap at the top and the bottom with 2 7-5-7-5 breathing cycles. And just that will make a huge difference to the next hour. That 60 seconds, that 1 minute gap will re-energize you for the next hour. It will also help you put into perspective a short reflection of the hour before. Once you attune your mind to doing that, which is part of practice. If you don't do the 7-5-7-5 breathing, all you need to do is stop for 1 minute every hour, close your eyes, and just do some slow, deep breathing, and make sure you have a gap at the top of your in-breath. So that's a ritual. And then you can extend that. You can have a practice of 15 minutes, just breathing a day. And then you can run that into your meditation practices. The fourth thing to hack your stuck life is grounding. Because our problem with our lives is that we are disconnected from the earth. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So when you actually take time to walk barefoot on the earth, on grass, on sand, on the earth, and you just do that regularly. Every day is good, but if you can't do it every day, do it a few times a week. If you can't do it a few times a week, do it once a week. The more you do it, the better. And you'll find that when you do grounding, it changes the energy, the tension in your body. Your negative, your positive charges in terms of your body that are stored as a result of being disconnected will balance out. The fifth thing to do is sun gazing. Light from the sun is essential for life. And when you do sun gazing at dawn and at dusk, the first hour of sunrise, the last hour of sunset, and you spend some time doing that. And again, when you do it, is about what you can fit into your schedule, which is why you create a gap and you make it a habit of that ritual. Then when you look at sun gazing, you just take in the light from the sun, and when you actually get into the deeper process, you will then be able to engage the practice of taking in light codes and information from the sun. So that's a whole different, deeper practice for another video. Where do you start with all this? Well, the first thing is to set an intention. An intention is your internal intention of doing that. But you have to get out of your head to set a good intention. So set an intention that this is what you're going to do to hack your stuck life. And it doesn't take much. You don't have to spend a lot of time. And if you look at your life and 168 hours a week that you have, and you say, I haven't got the time, you are being completely in illusion and unrealistic. So set the time, however small and however practical, however manageable you can make it in your time to do this. And even if you don't do all of it, just do breathing. That one thing will make the big difference. And then you set about building the practice of doing all 5 steps over time in your life, in your schedule, to make it a habit. Now remember that to create a habit, it takes 21 days to do that in a row. And the reason why it takes 21 days in a row to make it is because the first 7 days, your mind gets used to doing it. The next second 7 days, or 7 times, your mind and body get attuned to it. The third series of 7 days is when the habit becomes automatic. So that's what it takes. So it'll require perseverance, it'll require attention. And when you go about doing this, you're going to find that you're going to start and then forget, come back to it. Over time, when you remember to do this, you'll find the stuckness in your life starting to loosen in various ways and form. So, how to hack your stuck life? Very simple. Just change your breathing as a starting point. I'm Richard.